I want to share with you this new series, The Power of Vision. What you see is what you get. Kung ano ang nakikita nyo, yon ang makukuha nyo. Yes, there is power in what we see. What you see is what you will exactly get. Crystal Cathedral Church, it's a very expensive, beautiful church. That's why they call it Crystal Cathedral Church. Ang pastor nila noon ay si Robert Schuller. I thought I read that praise when we entered the building. It remained in my mind and in my heart that if you can see it, you can build it. Kaya look at the architects. What they see is what they are designing. Dinidesign ng mga bahay, mga building. Look at the fashion designer. Titingnan lang nila kanilang client, and then kung ano nakikita niya sa kanyang client, iyon ang kanyang i-design na gown or special clothes. What the designer sees in his or her client, yun ang kanyang dodrawing eh. Tingnan nyo, dinadaan-daanan lang natin ang bato, but when a sculptor sees that stone, he sees something that we do not see. Dinadaanan lang natin ang matalahib na lugar. When I was a student, 1975, dumadaan ako from Pasig. Dadaan ako dyan sa Ortigas. The only existing building then, it's so beautiful, which is Meralco building. And then dadaan ka dyan sa Greenbelt, Green Hills, Unimart ang nandun lang. Puro talahib. Then you go to Alabang, puro lupa. But when Ayala saw Alabang, he transformed it. When Ayala saw Makati, they transformed it. The developers see something that you and I cannot see. But what they see is what they get. Now, I want to show you two biblical principles that what he saw is what exactly what he got. In Genesis chapter 13, 14 and 17, makita niyo po dito, nung tawagan ng Diyos si Abraham, sumama ang kanyang pamangkin na si Lot. Hindi tinawag ng Diyos si Lot. Ang tinawag ng Diyos ay si Abraham. Sumama lang si Lot, and Lot became very prosperous. Sumama lang. Sa taong tinawag ng Diyos, kasama-sama lang ni Lot ang tinawag ng Diyos, pati siya ay naambunan ng katakot-takot na pagpapala. Kaya sabi ko, I notice everyone who are close to me, they are so blessed. Kaya kung gusto niyong pagpalain, stay close with me. Ito, hindi tinawag si Lot. Look at that. Try all your best to stay close sa ating mga pastors. And don't just be close to them. Try your best to honor them, and you will see. For more than 40 years, all the people who are close to me, they are so blessed. And those who are far away from me, kaya na po ang uusga, no? In verse 13, because it was only Abraham that God called, at naging problema ni Abraham, si Lot. Alam niyo ba yan? Karoon sila ng problema dahil pinagpala sila at wala ng paglagyan. I want to cut the story. Noong nagkaroon ng separation, naghiwalay na si Lot at saka si Abraham, that's the time Abraham saw the promised land. There must be a separation because Lot is an obstacle, is a hindrance to God's purpose for Abraham. Siya ang hadlang, hindi naman siya tinawag, nakisingit lang. At tingnan niyo kung gaano kabait si Abraham, binigyan pa siya ng first option. Hindi siya tinawag, and yet he called yung pamangkin niya, sabi niya, huwag tayo mag-away. Ikaw nang unang pumili. Anumang pipili mong lupa sa iyo at ang anumang matitira sa akin. Kung pinili mo ang east, sa akin ang west. Kung pinili mo ang north, sa akin ang south. So when Lot choose yung malapit sa Sodom and Gomorrah because it's so fertile, and then naghiwalay na sila, ang pagdating sa Bethel ni Abram, God said to him, in verse 14, the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, so there must be a separation. Unless there is a separation from those obstacles and hindrances for your destiny, you will never see God's purpose for your life. There must be a separation. It may be from sin, it may be from worldliness, it may be from compromise. You have to separate yourself from that. Because God will never show you His purpose for your life. You have to give up things. You have to make a decision to give up things that hinders you to see the promised land. So when there was this separation, God told Abraham, lift up your eyes from where you are. Nasa Bethel siya, lift up your eyes from where you are. Look to the north. As far as your eyes can see, look to the south. As far as your eyes can see, look to the east. As far as your eyes can see, and look to the west. As far as your eyes can see. All you see, I will give it to you. What you see is what you will get. This is the word of God. All that the land that you see, I will give it to you. I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go, walk through the land, the length and the breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. So Abram moved his tent, went to live near the great Mamre, and he did something that is so crucial in the fulfillment of what you see. This is very important. I want you to listen carefully. This is very crucial. Yes, you have seen what God showed you, but unless you will do what Abraham did, it's just a dream, a nightmare. So what he did is he built an altar to the Lord. Yung word, he built an altar to the Lord. Mamaya ma-explain sa'yo. And then pagkatapos nun, dahil pinagpala ng lubos si Abraham, when he was alone, nagkaroon ng separation. Ang problema ngayon, kung saan niya ipapamana. Pinakakuha siya ng Diyos na anak, 25, more than 20 years later, wala pa rin. He was so rich, so influential, so powerful. And then God, in a vision, He told Abraham, do not be afraid, I am your shield, and I am your great reward. And then, siniwalat na ni Abraham ang damdamin niya, sabi niya, pinangakuan mo ko ng anak, hanggang wala akong anak. Anong kwenta ng yamang ito na binigay mo sa akin? Ang magmamana lang, my servant Eleazar from Damascus. And then God told him in verse 4, the word of the Lord came to Abram, sabi niya, this man will not be your heir, but the son coming from your own body will be your heir. He took him outside and said, look up, This is the second word. Lift up your eyes. This time, look up. And then, and the heavens, look up at the heavens and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, then he said to him, so shall your offspring be. Verse 6, Abraham believed, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Two biblical reference. God showed to Abraham, look at to the north, to the south, to the east, from the west. Everything you see, I will give it to you. Kinaladkad niya from the tent in chapter 15 ng Genesis, look up at the heavens. And everything you see, count them, and it will be the number of your descendants. What you see is what you get. The question is, what do you see? Yes, you have the eyes to see. The issue is, what do you really see? When you look at your wife, your husband, what do you see? When you look at yourself in a mirror, what do you see? When you see your children, what do you see in them? When you see your cell members, when you see your classmates, when you see the people around you, what do you see? Because what you see is exactly what you will get. Ipoprocess ng mind mo yun eh. And then, paniniwalaan mo yun eh. What you see in yourself, what you see in your wife, what you see in your family, what you see in your business, in your finances is exactly what you will see. What you will get. What you see in your physical, yung physical mo, katawan mo, is what you will get. If you see that this body was created in the image of God, you will take care of this. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. You will take care of it. But if you see a hurting woman, a hurting man, a desperate man, you see, wala ka ng pag-asa, you're hopeless. Nobody cares for you. That's what you see. But that's not true. Everyone abandoned you. They hurt me. Not all of them is hurting you. But because that's what you see. And that's the way you live. Kaya you are rejecting everyone in your life. The precious people who cares for you, tinataboy mo. Your husband who loves you, tinataboy mo. Your wife who loves you, who cares for you, tinataboy mo. The children who loves you, tinataboy mo, because that's what you see. Wala silang kwentang tao. They hurt you. They failed you. They frustrated you. What you see is what you get. Now, I want you to share the biblical principles. Number one, look to where God Almighty shows you. Don't just look everywhere. Look only to the place where God shows you. The problem is, lahat tinitingnan natin. Kaya sobrang nakikita natin na overwhelmed tayo, tapos there's so much hopelessness and helplessness. There's so much problems around us. Kaya, ayan, bago mo pa, nung makita mo na, you are overwhelmed, and nag-trigger na sa mind mo, wala na pag-asa, you will make a verdict, wala na pag-asa sa Pilipinas, magmamigrate na lang ako. Ganito na lang talaga ang Pilipinas. Kung nurse ka sa Pilipinas, wala kang pag-asa. Kung dito ka sa Pilipinas, teacher, wala na pag-asa. I have to go abroad where there are opportunities to the extent you cannot see your future, and then you cannot see the danger when you are away from your family. Makita mo lang ang temporary things na magandang trabaho doon, there's so much opportunity there, maganda nga, I cannot contest it. America is beautiful, Europe is beautiful, wherever you go, it's beautiful. But if you will look 10 years from now, 20 years from now, nagkaroon ka ng anak, napalaki mo, anak mo, nakapag-aral, nakapag-asawa, you cannot pull them anymore. Tatanda ka, pagka tumanda ka, you don't want to grow older dahil itatapon ka sa home for the aged, the loneliest place in the whole world. And you will go back home, and once you are home in the Philippines, don't expect your children and your grandchildren to go back with you, and you will not see them anymore. 3 araw lang na nawala si Joshua, si Dali, si Enric, si Yoyo, si Jello, si Dali, at saka si Coco. 3 araw lang. Nagpunta sa Las Piñas. Sabi ko, wow. Ang laking kulang sa bahay. Ang laking kulang sa akin. Tapos magturo sa SOL, dumiretso ako sa bahay ni Joshua. I want to see Enric and Joseph. I want to see Joshua and Badet. Nagpot-pot ko, ako madilim na, mukhang wala sila, wala yung kotse. So I went home. At ako si Jello, si Dali, and I found out inuubo si Coco. Right and then, hindi na ako dalawang isip, I cast out that evil and foul spirit. Nag-worship na ako, binuksan ko na yung TV namin, yung worship songs, and then I'm worshiping, casting out any evil and foul spirit because somehow naapektuhan. Your most important thing in your life is not your wealth and riches, is not the place you desire. The most important in your life is your wife, your children, your family. But because you were so deceived, by the way, I am not against, no? If God is calling you there, then go by all means and be a missionary and be light and salt. I am not against that. When God is calling you, go by all means. But you know the price. You will not see your parents anymore. You will not see your brothers and sisters seldom. And then, pinagmamalaki mo, ang anak ko nasa Australia, ang anak ko nasa London, ang isang anak ko nasa Amerika. Pinagmamalaki niya dahil magagaling sila, kaya nandun. Pero deep inside them, if you will ask them, are you really happy? At ako, alam ko, kawawa siya. Pero mo, gusto niyo makita ang kanyang apo, gusto niyo i-embrace ang kanyang anak, gusto niyo makita ang kalagayan nila, but where are they? They're somewhere else. You see only temporary things. You do not see 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now, the consequences of leaving this country. And you cannot see the beautiful opportunity here in the Philippines. You are a teacher, and there is no future for the teacher. You are a nurse. There is no future for the nurse. Who said so that you don't have a future in the Philippines if you are a teacher and if you are a nurse? A farmer could not see the opportunity. Farmer lang siya. Bebenta niya, and then pupunta sa Manila. Makipagsapalaran. At tingnan mo ang buhay niya sa Manila, nasa squatter. They cannot see the opportunity, the potential where they are. What they see is other countries so beautiful dahil yung kasi napapanood nila. They do not see what God designed for them. Look to where God shows you. Doon ka mag-focus. And by all means, look and see. Lift up your eyes, sabi ni Lord. He said to him, He said, lift up your eyes. The question is, who is telling you to go and migrate to America? Is it God? Is it self or the devil to destroy your future? This is very clear. God said to Abraham, look up where you are, north, south, east, and west. Everything you see, I am giving it to you and to your offspring. Napakabuti ni Lord. To you and to your offspring. Kanya kabuti si Lord. A land of your own where you can establish a nation, your family. Chapter 15 verse 5, He took him outside, kinaladkad niya. Actually, yan ang ibig sabihin dahil nagre-reklamo, nagwa-whine, nagmamurmur siya dahil you have not given me a son. I have this wealth and riches. Tama naman siya doon Pero sino magmamana? Sabi niya, I promise you a son, your own son will be your heir, not this servant. And when he started to lift up his eyes to look up at the heavens, he started to see. I want to emphasize here, it's a number one principle. If you cannot see what God shows you, you will always do trial and error. Puro kayo trial and error. Baka ito, baka ito, baka ito. It's because you fail to really see what God is showing you. Pangalawa, believe what you see. Look at verse 18 of chapter 13 of Genesis. So Abraham moved his tent. If Abraham did not believe, he will not move. Tandaan niya. Once he saw it and heard the covenant of God, I am going to give this to you and to your descendants, he moved his tent. He believed. He believed God and he believed what God showed to him. In verse 6, in chapter 15, he believed the Lord, Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Selyado. When you see what God showed you, the moment you believe, it is sealed to you already. Kaya meron din akong note, I will repeat it. Kaya ganyan ka magsalita, ganyan ka ka-negative, palagi kang nagre-reklamo, ganyan ang attitude mo, it's because that's what you see. But if you begin to see your wife, God, the way God sees it, you will love her more. Kung mahal mo siya, the first time you saw her, na in love ka, the more you will fall in love with her today. Because you are seeing her through the eyes of faith. The way God sees her. She's precious, she's somebody, she's important, she's loved. If you can see your husband the way God sees your husband, you will honor, you will respect, you will submit to him. You will believe him, you will support him. And if you see the way God sees your children, regardless of their personality and their stubbornness, whatever it is, temporary lang yan if you see beyond their rebellion, their stubbornness, the way God sees it, you will believe it, and you will not get discouraged. You will not get disappointed, because everything is just a preparation. Kahit anong gawin ng anak nyo ngayon, it's just a preparation. Only time will tell, then boom, isang iglap lang, ang anak nyo, they will come to their senses and go back to God and begin to see, just like you see them, what God is showing to them, and they will believe their lives will be restored better than before when God restores their lives. I have seen that kay Joshua. I have seen that kay Dali. And I've seen that to many of you. Patapon ng buhay niyo, wala ng pag-asa, hopeless and helpless. Now, when you encountered the Lord and gave your life kay Lord, and God restored your life. Hopeless na ang iyong finances. When God intervened in your finances, now the blessing started na sumisibol to come from the north, south, east, and west. Believe what you see. And then pangatlo, this is very important. God showed to them what He wanted them to see, and they saw it. And they believe it. Now, to seal what they saw, and what they saw will begin to manifest, mangyayari sa buhay nila, they did two things. Una, Abraham built an altar and worshiped the Lord. Pangalawa, he made an offering of heifer, which is tupa, baka, kambing, at ibon. Whatever is available, yan ang in-offer niya kay Lord. And then if you will see in chapter 15, pinakita niya ang future that they will become slaves in Egypt. But I will take them out of Egypt. The nation who will punish them, I will destroy, sabi the Lord. And then, makita nyo, pagdating sa chapter 15, He gave His covenant. Now, what do you mean by building an altar? What do you mean by giving an offering? I want you to listen carefully. Please listen to me carefully. When God showed you something, your purpose, your destiny in life, and when you begin to see it, believe it, and then worship God. Do not worship your purpose. Do not worship your wealth and riches. Dahil pagpapalain kayo, when you begin, when you see it, and when you believe it, God will change the course of your future. Dito ka papunta, God will bring you here, and you will be blessed, you will be favored. Grabe pong supernatural ang maranasan mo because you saw it, you believe it, paglalaban mo, but don't forget to worship God. These things can only happen, magkakatutuyan when you begin to focus your heart kay Lord and worship God and Him alone. At wag niyong i-trade ang Diyos sa anumang bagay, kahit na the wealth and the riches, the prestige of this world, yan ang bumubulag sa maraming tao. Yan ang dahilan kung kailan sila pinagpapala, napapalayo sila kay Lord. Because they trade God for the things of this world. Ang ibig sabihin ng worship God, He is your number one priority. He is the reason why you exist. And He is the only reason who can help you fulfill your destiny, your purpose in life. And then, your offerings, your life, your offering is your offering, Every time you appear before God, you give your offering or seed offering for the fulfillment of your dream, your destiny. Kaya napakahalaga nito. Somehow, when we are sowing seed for our board exam, sowing seed for the healing of our loved ones, sowing seed for the transformation of our loved ones, sowing seed for the restoration of your marriage, for the restoration of your children, the restoration of your finances, restoration of your health. This is it. After seeing, they started to believe. And because they believe, they worship God and God alone at wala nang iba. Until their last breath, si Lord pa rin ang sinasambat pinaglilingkuran. And they honor God. They give the best offering kay Lord. Hyper is a Red Bull cow, 3 years old. A ram is a male sheep, a goat, and birds of any kind. You will make an offering kay Lord. Once you see it, once you believe it, build an altar and make your best offering. Not once, but many times. The covenant promise of God to Abraham took him, yung pinaka-mimithi ni Abraham, is a son, Isaac. It took him 25 years. So the challenge here is this: patience, perseverance. Persistence and perseverance is of extreme importance. The enemy of what we see and what we believe is the lack of patience. We do not persist, hindi natin pinaglalaban. Masyado tayo nagmamadali. Walang pasensya. Please, hindi mo pwedeng pitasin ang bunga na hindi hinog. You cannot dictate God's time. Only God, in His own time, He will give it to you. Patience is the name of the game here. It's the process to change and transform your life. Patience. Persistence, you will not give up. You will be frustrated, you will be disappointed. Your family will be affected, your health will be affected because of your destiny. But you will not give up. That's what we call persistence. Perseverance, you are willing to wait and wait and wait until the perfect time will come. Church, what you see is what you will get.